Hi, my name is Kate Catlow. I am a Level 3 certified Ki-Hara resistance trainer, also a certified Pilates instructor. Been doing Pilates since 1993. Got introduced into the stretching world by accident, found a book on the shelf, it fell off and said buy me. It was Bob Cooley's book. Bob Cooley was the originator of the resistance stretching. I've been studying for the last 6 years now with Ann Tierney and Steve Sierra out of Florida, who work exclusively with Torres and other Olympic athletes, as well as people recovering from injury of all sorts, all ages. I have found that the resistance stretching has brought in a new dimension into my Pilates work, into my athletics. I really think it's one of the best stretching methods out there. There's nothing compared that can do what it does. It will take you to a level in your, whatever sport you're into, it'll take you into a level that you didn't think you could get there. And now in my 50s, I'm in better shape and more flexible than I was in my 20s as a competitive swimmer. I think it's kept my body in the game, just like Dara Torres says. It has kept her in the game longer. She's now approaching her 6th Olympics and credits this method as her secret weapon. And I believe her, and I think she's amazing, and you guys will love this method. It's the best. So we have Jane here on the mat right now. We're going to do a little bit of arm stretching, similar to what they do on Dara Torres, with opening up her pecs, opening up her lats, opening up the rhomboids in the back. So just to show you a little bit of how it is when you're assisted in the stretch, I will be the one giving the assistance, Jane will be the one doing the resistance. When you give resistance and to stretch in this method, in the Ki-Hara method, you start with your muscle as short as possible. So when you want to weight train, you start with your muscle as long as possible, of course, and then you put your weight on and you crank up on the weight, and that builds strength. To stretch that muscle, we start with it as short as possible, and then we apply weight, which would be me, the stretcher, and I will stretch her muscle, and she will resist within the bicep or whatever muscle we're targeting. In that process, we're stretching eccentrically, so we are making the muscle stretch from the belly outward, rather than in traditional stretching where we start with the end range and we try to stretch and elongate from end range to end range. It has been working better to move the muscle fiber from the center and release all the toxins that build up and make those muscles stick together. So we will demonstrate that. First of all, the thing you want to do is always warm up the muscle before we stretch it. So we're going to start with the muscle as long as possible, and this stretch we're targeting across the pec. So Jane's going to work her arm towards her hip, and I'm going to slow it down. I'm the weight, and you're just going to press towards your hip, and we'll do that 3 to 5 times to warm up that muscle so that when we give it a stretch, it's going to really respond well. Good. And then we can also add rotation, and today we're just going to do a little bit of straight on, and then I'll show you what the rotations will do. Excellent. So now she's going to keep pressing towards her hip. I'm going to pull her arm away from her hip. She's giving me resistance in her pec muscle. And I'm also going to add a little bit of rotation. So the beauty of this method is working with a human stretcher. You are working with the natural movement of your arm and your body part rather than working against a machine or against a static weight. This is the natural movement that the arm wants to do. So think of throwing a baseball or doing the backhanded tennis. This is what we're targeting, is that natural movement. So now she's resisting and I'm applying the stretch. And then I have her press up out of it just gently. I don't give her a lot of resistance so that she can feel that her muscle comes back into a strength. We've also found in the research the Ki-Hara team has been doing is that your muscles can only stretch in relationship to how much they can contract. So you can be overstretched but have no strength. So this method creates strength with flexibility, which is what Pilates does as well. The beauty of this method is it takes you there a little faster than just doing that. So now we're going to do the opposite of that, which we call the balancing muscle group. So now Jane's going to start at her hip and press back over her head in the same kind of Y motion. So press back to the floor. And I'm going to slow it down and warm it up. We always want to work opposite muscles when we stretch. We want to work the balancing muscle group, antagonist, agonist muscles. Excellent. Good. Go up a little bit higher if you can. Just there you go. Tell me if that's enough resistance. Feeling like it's warmed up? Excellent. Good. Now keep pressing back, and I'm going to give it a little bit of stretch, add the rotation, and go towards her hip. Yeah? Feel good? Press back. Excellent. And one more. So that's the one arm method, doing it with a rotation, the long arm method. We have other ways we do that. If you turn on your side right now, and I'm going to take this and make it a pillow face that way. And so there's variations that we can do to help work with the arm. So if she has real struggles with the pec or with the trap over here or the lat, so we can do variations here where she's going to punch towards the floor. We've already warmed up that pec, so I'll keep punching and I'm going to give it a stretch. And then I follow the movement and feel where she needs that stretch in her arm. How's that feel? Okay. How's the range? Okay, good. One more. Press. So I'm just going to show you a few different ways we work the arm. Excellent. Now we're going to work into the trap muscle. So think of the choo-choo train here. You're pulling on the thing. So you're going to choo-choo train, press over your head, and I'm going to slow it down to warm up this trap. We're targeting the trap now. And press up. Good. And press up. And one more time, keep pressing over your head, and then I'm going to give it the stretch, and you tell me how that feels. How's the range? Okay, good. And press. Excellent. At the same time, I'm also giving her traction and elongating that muscle. Excellent. Good. So opposite of that, she's going to work her lat now. Pull down to your waist. Here we're warming up the muscle. We're strength training her muscle. Press down. Excellent. And one more time, press down. And keep pressing down, and then I give a lift, and she resists me, so she's pushing against me while I push against her. We're going to lengthen the arm out, so go ahead and let your elbow relax as I stretch it out. How's that? Okay. And press. Relax your bicep. Thank you. Excellent. Good. How's that feel? Okay. So that's just a little demonstration of several ways you can work the arm, either flat on the back, on the side. There are some double arm methods, but we find it's better to work the arms individually. Do you want me to do the other side real quick?
Yes.
Okay.